You know, I'm not typically one to make a new video covering a specific update that comes out in this game, but this one is such a big deal that after playing with it for a couple of days, I just have to make a video talking about it. That, of course, is 117's brand new HD plugin. So first and foremost, 117's HD plugin is only located on RuneLite. So if you're not already using RuneLite, you can download it at www.runelite.net. Don't go to a fake one and get hacked. It's runelite.net. From there, go to your settings, and at the bottom, click on Plugin Hub. You can then type in 117HD, and click on the little green button that says Install. Mine says Remove because I already have it installed. Now, once you have it installed, you can go into the settings of it, and there is a ton of settings to play with. The first thing I want to cover is Anti-Aliasing. So this one is pretty much going to be a button that makes your game look smoother. So if I disable it, like really focus on the outline of my character's armor with it disabled, and then if I crank it up to, let's say, 16, you can see that things get way smoother. Disabled. 16. So it just smooths out those edges. So if you're into that, go for it. I put it on like 2, just because I don't want to lose that old school RuneScape pixely look, but a little bit of smoothing does look good. Otherwise, some things that'll make a pretty big difference are saturation, contrast, and brightness. So saturation, that kind of impacts how bright and vivid the colors are. Personally, I think it's best left on default. If you put it on none, it's literally black and white. If you put it on highest, it's pretty deeply saturated. So I think default is the most, realistic option. Now, brightness, this really depends on where you are. So if I'm standing in the Corrupted Gauntlet, I usually want it on brightest, right? But if I leave and I go to Prif Dinis, it's very bright out here, so then you're probably better off on default, So the brightness is one of those things you're just going to have to adjust based on where you are. Otherwise, though, if you want it to look as good as possible, put your level of detail on full, your dynamic lights all the way up, pretty much turn all of these checkboxes on, put your shadow resolution up high, stuff like that. But like the saturation, contrast, and brightness, that you're going to have to adjust based on where you're at in game. Now, one really, really interesting thing is the atmospheric lighting. Atmospheric lighting is supposed to adjust itself based off of where you are to make it more thematic. Let me give you an example. So right now I am in one of my favorite new places in this game with the plugin turned on, and that is the Catacombs of Korend. I think as it is right now, it looks really, really good. But I'm going to show you what happens when I turn on atmospheric lighting. Are you ready? It makes it really, really purple. See, but that's the idea. You notice how the walls have a shade of purple to them? There's a lot of purple scenery. That was 117's idea. You're inside of a dungeon that is clearly purple themed. Let's give it a nice purple glow. So I turn atmospheric lighting back off. Then it resumes more of a normal hue. So I think atmospheric lighting is cool, but more times than not, I think it ends up being a little bit much. After playing around with the client for a couple of days, I think overall the most impressive thing I've found that makes a difference when you walk around this game is the lighting, especially coming from things like torches or things that glow. I'm going to give you an example. Let's look at Draenor Manor. Draenor Manor is supposed to be this creepy, haunted driveway, and look at this. With the glow that comes off of these lanterns, with the way the atmospheric lighting changes, this actually feels scary. This feels unironically like I am approaching a haunted mansion. Look at the glow of the candles inside. Like, this lighting, the glow makes it feel so realistic. And I took you to Draenor Manor. It's one of my favorite places to show you because look at this. There's lightning. I'm gonna turn it on. Watch this. Look at that. There are select places in this game where if you have it enabled, lightning will strike, and it just, again, the biggest thing I can say about this plugin is places that are dark and have candles and it makes them feel so much more thematically accurate. It's just incredible. And to really put that into perspective, I'm gonna shock you a little bit. Now that you've looked at this, you've seen the cool lighting, are you ready? Like, I feel like now that I'm used to it, I can never go back. I mean, it's just insane. The difference is absolute insanity. Look at this glow coming off of the Ectofuntus. It's absolutely jaw-dropping when you put your character at like a side angle, and then you slowly move the camera. Look how brightly that's glowing against my armor, and then you put it up to your back, and it's just, this lighting is incredible. And not only just the Ectofunctus, but if I go into the town of Port Phasmatis, look at the glow coming off of these ghosts. You walk into this town, and you actually feel like you are in a haunted town full of ghosts. Are you ready? When I flip it on and off like that, it's like jaw-dropping. I mean, it's just unreal. You know what looks really good is Barrows. So Barrows has a glow in and of itself to begin with, okay? So you head down here, and then the Barrows brothers themselves have a glow to them. You can see there's like an aura around Darok, for example. And I'm also going to take this opportunity to show you something super cool. So I'm going to turn on the atmospheric lighting so it gets a little bit darker in here. Really, look at that glow, man. Look at the glow coming off of them. Now, this right here is one of the coolest things, I swear to you. I'm going to back away where it's a bit darker. Watch the glow of my character when I cast this trident. Magic spells that you cast have a glow to them. The trident is kind of a bluish green, and then like look at Water Surge. I mean, that is just... I've literally already seen this. I'm redoing this for this video, and I'm just sat here in disbelief still, a second time. I think one of the better places that showcases this client overall is probably the Ferrix Enclave. The Ferrix Enclave does a really good job of showing off not only the glowing effects that I've been highlighting, you've got blue and purple and green and red portals that are glowing all over the place, but you can really see all of the upgraded textures. The cobblestone design in the road, all the different textures you see on the trees and whatnot. The Ferrix Enclave looks incredible. I think this will be the last place I showcase without, any actual gameplay, so I will actually kill some bosses in a little bit, I swear. But the Karamja Volcano with the brightness turned all the way down is stunning. I know I'm throwing around a lot of big words, and I feel like I'm fangirling, but look at this, dude. Look at this lighting. This glow, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what words to use that I haven't already said, but like when you look at the contrast of the back of my character, and then you spin him around to facing the lava, it's just wicked, man. It's wild. So, let's get into some actual PVM content. First up, we tried out Theater of Blood, and I thought Theater of Blood looked really, really nice. Now, at the moment, we're at the Bloat. I thought Bloat was one of the cooler looking rooms because you got a nice glow effect coming off of that lantern thingy in the middle. Now, keep in mind, at this point, I do have atmospheric lighting turned on. Now, in a second here, I'll show you another clip with it turned off. Atmospheric lighting in TOB gives it a nice purple hue. The thing is, though, it's not like the Catacombs of Korend I showed you earlier, where it's like, oh my god, purple. It's just kind of a light purple, and I actually think it fits it pretty well. So now we jump ahead to Sodic Seg, and I've got the atmospheric lighting turned off, and I don't know, like, this looks really nice as well. So I think it looks good either way. If you're into the purple hue, and you think it makes it look cooler, you can always rock it. If not, I think it looks really, really clean without the purple either. So either way, it looks nice at TOB. Next up, I sent some solo raids, and I got some of the coolest looking rooms in my opinion. First off was Tecton, and I really like Tecton. So pretty much anything like red and orange, I feel like looks super nice with this plugin. It gives off a very good, like, warm glow. Now that, on top of just Tecton and the ground textures looking super high definition, Tecton just looks sweet. And next up, actually, we have the crab room. I feel like the crab room looks really, really cool. There's like a very nice level of, I don't know, contrast. Like things pop out. The color of the floor looks good in here. I like the crab room a lot. And then Vasa looks fantastic. So the giant crystal formations you stab, those have a big glow to them. Vasa itself has a big glow to it. I think Vasa's got to be one of the best looking rooms for sure. And then, of course, you have Olm. The textures on the floor look pretty cool, and Olm himself looks very well detailed, very high definition. And, you know, whilst I'm here, I want to touch on the shadows as well. Listen, I have no idea how 117 did any of this, but I feel like the one thing that blows my mind the most is how good the projectiles are. Like, look at the shadow that's being cast. It is extremely accurate all the time. Like I'm shooting a Holy Sanguinesti staff, which shoots a bird, and like, you can just see a perfect bird shadow flying all the way to the Mage Claw. I mean, it's just, the more you sit and look at these details, it's just so impressive. Now, this is content that I've been doing day in and day out, so I've seen lots of this in the past couple of days, but the Corrupted Gauntlet, I think, looks really nice as well. The demi-bosses put off a pretty big glow, and so the rooms are relatively dark overall. I will say, this is probably one of the darker things that I've found so far with the new, with the HD plugin. The Corrupted Gauntlet's pretty dark, but as long as you have NPC glow turned on, they really light up the entire rooms. Same with the Hunlef. The Hunlef puts off a ton of light, and the colored tiles are pretty bright. Otherwise, the room is pretty dark overall. I decided to explore the wilderness a little bit as well, and I thought it was very interesting. Just outside of the core player, he actually made it kind of like a sandy texture, which I did not expect necessarily. And then as I got a little bit closer to Venenatis, you can just see that, you know, even on like the more plain areas of the ground, the texture does still look very nice. There's like there's a kind of a print to it. Now, I did not expect this at all, but Venenatis is really cool because it does a magic attack in which it launches effectively what looks like Earth Wave at you. The thing is, though, I kind of forgot about that, and I just did not expect for that Earth Wave attack to have the glowing of the projectile. So like Venenatis looks really cool, seeing this glowing green projectile flying at you. Well, I think I'm going to call it a video there. I just wanted to make this video to share with you my thoughts on the OSRS HD plugin. Personally, I think it looks really cool, and unless there's a lot of bugs that come out with it, I expect that I will probably continue to use this regularly. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think about it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? And if you do or don't, why? And furthermore, do you want me to use it in my videos? As I said, I would say as of right now, unless bugs become an issue, I do plan on it. But I'd be curious to see what a lot of you guys think about it. I know there was a bit of drama leading up to the release of the plugin, and it definitely did not disappoint, at least in my opinion. So let me know your thoughts down below. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video, and hey, I must say, I'm loving HD. I hope you are as well.